In the next few minutes, a very quiet secret will be revealed to you, one that doesn't require effort or even words, but it has the power to call in the very thing you've been reaching for without speaking a single desire out loud. Neville Goddard hinted at this again and again, that the most powerful form of asking is not done with your lips. Stay with me because I'm going to show you how to ask without words and why, when you do, your desires will start finding their way to you naturally, without force, without fear, and without delay. Let's get into it. You've been taught to speak your goals, to write them down, to chant affirmations again and again until they sink in, and that's fine at the surface level. But if you've done all of that, if you've said the right things, visualized the right outcomes, and still feel stuck, here's the real reason. You were asking with your words, but canceling it out with your energy. Neville put it plainly. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are conscious of being. Let that land. He's not saying your desires don't matter. He's saying your desires don't lead. Your state does. Think of it like tuning a radio. You can write classical music on a sticky note, tape it to the radio, and say, I love classical all day long. But if the dial is set to a heavy metal station, you won't hear your desired music no matter how sincere your request. The universe works the same way. It doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to the frequency you're actually tuned to. So pause and ask yourself, when you look around at your life right now, what are the recurring patterns? What moods do you wake up in? What version of you shows up when no one's watching? Because that's your dominant state. And that state, not your intentions, is what creation responds to. Here's a simple example. You could affirm, I am wealthy every morning. But if you go through the rest of your day checking your bank account in panic, saying no to small pleasures out of guilt, or shrinking when a bill shows up, you're not living in abundance. You're living in lack. You're not speaking from the wish fulfilled, you're speaking from the wound. And the universe doesn't always obey words, it obeys vibration. It mirrors who you're being, not what you're saying. So the real question becomes, how do you actually ask without words? How do you shift your being, not just your language? And that's what I'm about to show you next. Let's get into it. Step 1, choose one desire. Let's start here. And I need you to really hear this. You are not blocked. You are just distracted. Most people think they have a manifestation problem. What they really have is a focus problem. They're trying to manifest too many things at once. 1 minute it's love, then it's money, then it's peace, then it's clarity, then it's all of the above. And listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting more than one thing. But in the dimension of consciousness, trying to enter multiple states at the same time is like trying to walk in 5 different directions with one body. It doesn't work. Your energy becomes scattered, your attention becomes diluted, and your subconscious, which only responds to clarity, gets no clear instruction. So in this step, I want you to stop. I want you to drop into your body and ask yourself this one question. If everything else stayed the same, but one thing changed, what would bring me the most peace right now? That's the desire. Not the loudest one, not the most dramatic one, but the truest one. The one that, if you let yourself have it, would create a ripple of ease through your entire nervous system. The one that doesn't just sound good on paper, it feels right in your soul. Now here's the key. Don't rush this step. Don't choose what you think you should want. Choose the desire that makes your body soften. Choose the one that makes you feel like you just came home without even getting it yet. That's the desire to work with, because when you give your full emotional loyalty to one vision, you stop chasing your future and you start inhabiting it. And that's when things start moving. Not because you're pushing harder, but because you finally stop splitting your power. Step 2, say nothing about it. Now that you've chosen your desire, the one that truly matters, here's what you do next. You say nothing. Don't journal about it. Don't post it on Instagram. Don't casually mention it over coffee with your closest friend. Not because it's a secret out of fear, but because it's sacred. Let me say that again. Your desire is sacred. And what is sacred should not be exposed too early. You see, the moment you speak your desire into the wrong atmosphere, you risk diluting its energy. Not because people are malicious, but because they don't live inside the vision you've seen. They'll project their fears, their doubts, their practical concerns. They'll say things like, well, how are you going to do that? That sounds hard. Are you sure it's realistic? And without realizing it, you begin to shrink. Not physically, but energetically, because your subconscious, which was beginning to believe it was real, now feels the need to defend it, justify it, prove it. And the minute you feel the need to prove your desire, you've left the state. So in this step, your silence isn't passive, it's intentional. You're not hiding your desire, you're protecting its vibration. Because when something is still forming, still growing, you don't yank it out of the ground to show people. You let the roots deepen, you let the energy settle. Step 3, step into the state. Now comes the sacred turning point. You've chosen your desire. You've sealed it in silence. You've honored it by not throwing it around in casual conversation. And now it's time to embody it. Not in theory, not in words, but in the only place that ever mattered, your state. This is the moment most people rush through. They say a few affirmations, maybe close their eyes for 30 seconds, and then wonder why nothing changes. But you're going deeper. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let the outer world fade for a moment. Let your body be still, not to force calmness, but to return home to yourself. Now breathe, not to relax, but to enter. Breathe like someone who already has what they want. Slow, unhurried, certain. You're not visualizing. You're not imagining as if it's far away. You're relocating your awareness to the version of you who already has it. If this was already mine, if this desire had already arrived, how would I feel? How would I walk? How would I carry myself in this moment right now? And don't try to fake the answers. Let them emerge. Let your body show you. Your shoulders might drop. Your jaw might unclench. Your chest might rise just a little more confidently. This is not performance. This is permission. You're giving yourself permission to inhabit the state you've spent so long trying to reach. Because here's the secret Neville pointed to when he said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He wasn't saying to pretend or fake it until you make it. He meant live in the end, emotionally, energetically, physically. Let it feel natural, not magical, not euphoric, just normal. Because once it feels normal, the subconscious accepts it as true. And the subconscious doesn't manifest based on what you wish for. It creates based on what you've accepted as real. So here's your work. In this moment, let your breath belong to that new version of you. Let your mind rest. Let your emotions settle into this new identity like it's the most natural thing in the world. You don't need to hold the feeling with a death grip. You just need to rest in it. And if you really enter this state, even just for a few minutes, you'll feel it. A subtle shift, a dropping in, a quiet yes from within. That yes is your sign. That's the evidence. That's what activates the unseen mechanisms of manifestation. Not effort, but alignment. Because the subconscious doesn't respond to begging, it doesn't respond to timelines, effort, or constant checking. It responds to state. And when your state says, this is who I am now, the world begins to reflect it effortlessly. So stay in it for a moment longer. Soak it in, not to get something, but because you've remembered you already are it. And from this moment forward, that's the only place your future will know where to find you. Step 4, stay there and let it find you. This is the part most people skip, and because they skip it, they loop. They ask, affirm, visualize, and then start doubting, checking, asking again. But if you've truly stepped into the state, your next move isn't to do more. It's to hold it. You don't manifest through force, you manifest through residency. You move in emotionally, energetically, and you stay, not with clenched fists, not with white knuckle hope, but with quiet conviction. This is already mine, not because the evidence is there, but because your state is there. You're not chasing, you're not waiting, you're living from it. And that's where most people break the spell. They check for signs every 5 minutes. They start scanning reality like a radar. But the version of you who has it isn't looking. They're already enjoying it. They're already in motion. And that's your invitation now to become so familiar with the new state that the old state doesn't even tempt you anymore. to make your new identity so natural that you stop needing to explain it to anyone, including yourself. Because when you hold the state long enough with calm assurance, reality is compelled to conform. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. Neville called this persistence in assumption. It's not about hype. It's not about how often you say it. It's about how deeply you live it. So your final step, stay. Stay in the feeling, stay in the tone, stay in the identity, not with strain, but with sacred stillness. Because the moment you stop chasing, you become the place where it all arrives, and that's when it finds you. So the next time you feel tempted to ask with your voice, remember, your state already made the request. And if you want to make this real, comment below with, I ask by being. That's your new code, because you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to convince anyone. You just have to walk in the vibration of already having it and watch how effortlessly it begins to find you. Silently, powerfully, inevitably. I'll see you in that new state. Let me know if you'd like this formatted.